stress doesn't just all of a sudden happen. I'm sure that all of you have your own story. It's kind of like going scuba diving without the proper gear. You start to go down underwater, and then all of a sudden, slowly, gradually, you start to feel that pressure. And the world around us starts to get really small, and we start to have ailments on our bodies, such as, how did everybody sleep last night? I mean, insomnia is one of the things that pops up. And when we don't sleep well, then what happens? We start to gain weight because we don't get that nice, those 5 cycles of sleep where we get into that REM sleep, and then the body, it burns the most calories at the end of our sleep cycles. So we start to gain weight. We have all sorts of ailments that start to happen. Asthma is one of them. Certainly irritability. Not that that's ever happened to me. Irritability. I mean, forgetfulness. I mean, how many times do you lose your keys or forget where you put your glasses? Notice that I have in my hand, so I don't forget them. So all of those things start to play. And as I say, it's a slow kind of a process. So if you feel as though you're in that boat right now and you're starting to feel it a little bit, there are a couple of things that you can do. Sleep is one of them. So a little quick tip for that would be, we set our alarm to get up in the morning, but how about setting your alarm to go to sleep at night? I know that sounds really silly, but I don't know about you. I'll say, I'm going to go to bed at 10, and then at 9:55, I decide to check my emails and go clean my house. That doesn't work very well to get me in bed in time. So set your alarm. If you know that you're sleep deprived and you know that you need an hour more of sleep at night, don't start all of a sudden by trying to get to bed an hour earlier. Set your alarm to get into bed 15 minutes earlier. Start small, one tiny bit at a time, and then in a couple of weeks, maybe add 5 minutes more until you get to that optimum level. Because at the end of the day, your body, your temple is what you want to take care of, but you don't want to get more stressed about having to take care of it. So start teeny tiny, and sleep would be my first recommendation on how to kind of really protect your body.
I love that, and I love the things we probably disassociate from stress, like forgetfulness, irritability, sleep. Again, I think we're looking for these huge indicators, but these small things can be
Where's my kid?
First line of a warning. And I think that's a good message for this audience to be aware of the little things as well as the big things. I don't have enough time, I can't fit it in.
That's a mantra that we probably should get rid of, is that I don't have enough time. And it's about turn it around, turn the mirror around. How can you make time for yourself? How can you fit yourself into your life? There's a concept for us to really grab onto, because if, as I said earlier, if we're not strong, if we're not able to get through our day and our world, not even about getting through, but really flourishing and feeling vibrant in our day-to-day. If we can't do that, then we cannot give to other people. Our creative ideas and that big idea is not going to be quite as big as we'd like it to be, because we just don't have the juice and the energy to be able to get it done. So again, it's one small change at a time. And today I'm talking about the body. It's about making those small choices. I would say reboot. You know how you'll start out the day, I shouldn't have had that croissant and that latte, followed up by the other, cinnamon bun, all those things that we do, and we beat ourselves up for it. As Dr. Rami said, then the whole brain chemistry starts to change. Reboot. Okay, I made a bad choice for breakfast. So now, for the rest of the day, or for the next 4 hours, I'm going to make really good choices that I know are going to fuel me up. And that's really what we're trying to do, is get more fuel into our body so that we can do what we do better. One small choice at a time. If you're not working out right now, don't feel like you have to go out and spend an hour or half hour tomorrow and do that 6 days a week, because in 6 days, we won't do it anymore. We will have set ourselves up for failure. If you're not working out right now, as I said, take a 10-minute walk. Grab a friend. If you are working out and you know you need a few minutes more, add small increments. I had a client that came in. I'm going back now 9 years. She had 68 pounds to lose. I remember, because she kept saying, I have 68 pounds, I have 68 pounds, I have 68. She tried everything. She'd done every kind of program that she possibly could. She had so many different meals delivered to her house. I think she needed a separate kitchen for all of it. It was just unbelievable what this woman had tried to do to lose this weight. And I said, okay, well, let's start really small. What are you up to? I started her off literally 3 minutes a day. She said, I'm not going to lose any weight for 3 minutes a day. I said, well, we'll get to that point eventually. Fast forward, she lost all the weight. She's kept it off. She's had another baby. And she cooks her own meals. For the first time, she started cooking her own meals. And she got there because she decided to make, as I always say, it's a lifestyle shift. So if we're going to shift something, what is that? That's a small change to get us to the end result. So think about it in those terms, making time for yourself in your life every day, and what can you do small today that's going to make it big tomorrow.
And I like the idea of setting yourself up for success.
Definitely.
Because I think
you're great at that.
We're great at saying when we're not succeeding, but the small steps, like make it something you can succeed at.
Yeah, we make our clients successful all the time. Use those strategies that you've done for, those rituals that you use to be successful in your business. Turn that around and allow yourself to have that for yourself. Use those rituals for yourself to get there.
What else can people do to take those small steps? Replenish their body, be connected.
Well, I've already approached a little bit with the fitness. I don't want to get too much into that because I might lose everybody because fitness is kind of a nasty word sometimes. But the other part that I would talk about would be food. I wrote a book called Your Fit Gourmet, Cooking Secrets for the Overscheduled Woman, which I think we all are in this room. And what I found when I wrote it was that I didn't have time to write it, so I had to really make a lot of time to write it. And I just made that commitment, and I literally took 5 years to write it. But I allowed myself that time to enjoy writing it. And I think that's an important part of what we're doing today is find those parts of your day that you carve out for yourself to enjoy. And food, I don't know about you, but when you come home, do you open up the refrigerator and go, oh,
Yes.
nothing. There's nothing in there. I remember my brother saying that to my mother, who was a single working mother, and he came in one night and he said, there's nothing in the refrigerator. And my mother was the sweetest, kindest woman in the world, and he went to walk away, and she literally picked up a can of fruit cocktail and threw it at me. That's when we ate fruit cocktail and Jello. We don't do that anymore. But if you're going to have a dinner, make sure that you plan for it just like you plan your day. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I'm a real organic fan. I go to a farmer's market every week. Obviously, I love to cook, and I cook a lot, but that doesn't mean that everybody enjoys that same. There's been many times where I've stopped by Whole Foods, picked up a chicken, and brought it home. Taken and scrambled up some eggs and served it with a salad. But make it nice for yourself. Put down a placemat. Sit down. Turn on some nice music. Something really, really small. And one more thing that you can do with your food is make a plan. I know it sounds terrible, but if you could make a menu, even if you're not doing it now, don't try to do it for 5 days a week. Just plan one meal during the week that you're going to have, and it'll be something nice to look forward to. So that would be the food part that I would try to incorporate into your life. Again, practical, small. Start to think about how you want to feel in the evening when you sit down, and then make that happen for yourself. You're all incredibly creative. Reserve some of those creative juices for yourself. And of course, maybe a glass of wine would be nice too. Make sure you have it with your meal, though.